You may never feel fully ready to take the next big step in your life, in your career, in your business, relationship. The list goes on and on. I'm of the opinion that waiting for that perfect moment may be the very thing that is holding you back from your next level. So if you've been procrastinating, you've been overthinking, or you've been telling yourself, I'll start when I'm fully ready, or I'll start at the perfect time, this video is for you. Today, I'll show you how to take action even when you don't feel ready, and why not feeling ready can even be a sign that you're on the right path. I'll also share some personal stories with you and hope they inspire you. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Princess Akari, and this channel is all about helping you become the best version of yourself. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. So we need to lay some groundwork before we get into the action points. So a lot of us may have been told, or we just believe that, we will know when we are ready for the next big thing because we're going to feel it. Many times that feeling or moment may never come. Even when we are ready, we can still feel like we're not ready. So relying solely on how ready you feel before you take action can be very limiting. Please don't waste your time waiting for the feeling of readiness. Please. Now let's get to the core of our content today. How to take action when you don't feel ready or you're overthinking. So these are practical steps. Step 1, do your own research. Sometimes, you can be overthinking because you don't understand something. The more clarity you have around something, the less your mind overthinks or fears that thing. Yeah, take it to the bank. So when you want to act on something and you find out that you probably have maybe some doubts, or you probably have uncertainties, or you're just plainly overthinking, do your research. Research what the process of doing that thing looks like, research the requirements, stories from people who have done that thing, common mistakes and how to avoid those mistakes, and then what good enough looks like. So you know that, okay, if I'm starting this thing, I think I can do this one first. Many times, once you understand things, they stop feeling like a very big mountain. This research phase will help you break down the item into smaller chunks. Then those chunks are now more bearable. You can now look at them and they're not so big anymore. And then you can now start picking them up one by one to execute. Step 2, lower the bar for starting. I've said this before in one of my many videos. When you have done your research, this step becomes even much easier. Now when I say lower the bar for starting, this does not mean that you should lower your goals or minimize or reduce the entire goal. No, I mean lower the bar for starting anyone you want to pick. So aim for the smallest version possible of that task. So that is they are just small enough for you to start, and they can help you keep your motivation, and they will help you, continue and all of that. An example can be, if you want to start a new business, you can start by watching videos of people who have been successful, in that business. You don't need to just start doing the business, or people who have failed. Remember, you're not doing anything yet, and I bet you have time to watch videos. So if the first thing you need to do is to start watching videos, start. The point is just to start very small. You can also pick a small area to take action. So let's say you come up with a business name, or you design a logo for your business, or you create social media handles. Those are very, very easy things. Just start. So these are all very small steps just to encourage you to start. Step 3, surround yourself with people who have done it. I mentioned just a little bit of this earlier. Be in good company, very, very important. When you're around people who have taken big steps, who have failed, who have succeeded, who have started something, they can help with guidance or just some sense of community. They will be able to give you ideas that will help you shrink your worry, and it will also help you expand your mind to see more possibilities. When you're thinking alone, you can think small. Also, in terms of having people around you, aside from the obvious reasons that they give you support through advice, suggestions, etc., you also need people in your corner that can help you with clear thinking. These people have no bias, they have a clear mind and can help you. They would also help you with good criticism. Step 4, gather evidence from your own past. This is not the first time that you'll be scared of something. So look back at the things that you were once scared of or things that you were overthinking, but you eventually did those things. You can get some inspiration and motivation from there. So if you did that thing and you survived, you can do this one too. So step 5, anchor yourself with your why. Guys, I have said this thing before and I will say it again. And I also talked about it in one of my recent videos as well. Some of our goals have very weak whys. That's why we don't take action. The repercussions are negligible, if there are even any repercussions at all. So why do you jump when someone screams fire? You jump because you know that if you keep staying where you are, you might get burned. You know the repercussion. That's why you jump. You need to know the repercussions of stagnancy so that you can be spurred to action. You need to understand that some of the things that you have to do, they are critical to who you are as a person. Have a strong why and get to work. Always think of the bigger picture of why you are doing that thing that you say you want to do. Please, very, very important. So, as some of you already know, a lot of the major steps in my life were taken when I didn't feel ready. I'll just list some examples for you guys. Number 1 example, transitioning to tech. This was a very big one. I had no prior knowledge of what tech was. Like, I was fresh and new. I was coming from a totally different industry and way of working. I made this move very, very unready, if there's a word like that. But today, working in tech is what has literally changed my life. The second example, my MBA program. This was in early 2022, I believe. Going back to school was not part of my plans at all for the year. In fact, it only came up because I was speaking to a friend of mine who was also doing her MBA and I was inspired and I made the decision to do it. That's one of the best things I did for myself in my adult life. I applied, I got a scholarship and I still had to pay school fees because it wasn't a full scholarship. So at that time, I was earning in Naira and I was paying the fees in pounds. So I'm just trying to tell you guys that I was not ready at all, but I did it. The third example, relocating to the UK. I live in the UK right now, and this is one of the very big steps that I took. So, while planning my year, if someone had told me that towards the end of that year, I'll be moving to the UK, I would have laughed. I would have laughed out loud at them. I resumed work in January, and my manager kept inspiring me and just pushing me to apply for the UK Global Talent Visa. And he was mentioning that they were about to close shop due to funding reasons at that time. So I was like, oh, let me just quickly do this thing. Guys, I had finished all my savings trying to pay off my master's program. And I had just finished plenty of Christmas spending, Christmas family shopping, Christmas this and that. So many thoughts were just coming up around that time, how I'd manage and all of that. But I took the step. Look at me today, moving to the UK has been one of the best things to happen to me in recent years. It has enabled me in so many ways, from my career to my quality of life and to providing the best for my family and my loved ones. Example 4, starting this YouTube channel. This goes without saying. I was watching a Tayo Aina video on a random Saturday in January this year. This is 2025. And I got inspired to start my channel. Yeah. So just imagine that. Look at where we are today. Because I made that decision, I have been able to inspire many people on a global scale. And then because of YouTube, I had to learn how to start editing videos. So now I'm a video editor. And I even got some brand deals that brought extra income, as a growing YouTuber. I'm so proud of myself for taking that first step. Example 5, starting a product management community years ago. So funny story here, I was waiting for someone who was very senior to me at that time. I think she was head of product at a very top fintech company. A mutual friend tried to introduce us so we could come together and form the community, because I told my friend that I wanted to start a community. So I was waiting for her and I waited for almost 3 to 4 months, and then I just decided to start. I was barely 1 year into being a PM. In fact, I was exactly 9 months. I felt I was not ready for obvious reasons. But today we are impacting over 7,000 product people, just because of that one decision that I made years ago when I didn't feel ready. Why am I telling you all these things? First of all, to show you that I practice what I preach. And then again, just start. I would say that my life has just been, a story of me doing hard things when I didn't feel ready, like year on year on year on year. I was audacious enough to dream and to also do. So you might never feel ready to do anything, and you shouldn't allow, your overthinking or your over analyzing to make you stagnant in life. Yeah. So it's not easy at all. I understand that. It's not an easy thing to do. And that is why you need to fight your fears and get things rolling. So a lot of people have fears. You might have the fear of failure. You're thinking to yourself, what if I get this thing wrong? Another type of fear can be the fear of success. Let me explain what I mean. So you start, then you make it big, but you don't think you can sustain that. Another one is the fear of judgment. This one is very popular. Oh, what will people say? What will people say? Please just start. Another one is perfectionism. You want to be perfect before you start. Just start. And then a very big one that we all know, comparison. You say, oh, other people are already doing this and this and this, and they're already ahead of me. So why am I even doing it? Why am I even starting now? Just start. Too many what ifs, oh this, oh that. You need to drop the overthinking and deal with the future things when you get to that bridge. Tell them I'm the one that sent you. Anyway, it's important to know that the idea you have or that goal that you have, if you pause your momentum or if you don't execute it quickly because you're waiting to feel ready, you're waiting for the perfect time, do you know what can happen? Your momentum can die. Yes, it can die. It can just fizzle out and die. A lot of times, the opportunity or the opportunities will pass because you didn't act fast. The skills you have in that area may stop growing because you're not putting them into any practice. And then the fears that you already have will only get bigger. And then you keep doubting yourself and you will continue to doubt yourself even more. Guys, I hope this video inspired you today. Please remember this. If you don't remember anything we mentioned today, just remember this. You don't need to feel ready to start. Start first and then figure yourself out as you go. With the right knowledge and the right support system, the probability to succeed is very, very high. Okay, guys, please drop a comment and tell me one action that you take today or this week for that thing that you've been procrastinating, you've been overthinking just because you were waiting for the perfect moment. Please let me know in the comments. Let me know. Also, if this video helped you, if you like this video, please click like and share the video as well with someone who needs that little push. Someone in your corner that needs to hear this. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.